My name is Monty Russell. I'm the president of Diné College, Keanu Nishle, Monteith Clan of Scotland, Bushes Jane, Ashane Shache Ado German Chanella. When the college started 54 years ago, we had a coal economy transferring from a livestock economy. Now it's changed. So what is it going to turn into? In order to be able to meet the future, in order to be able to meet, the aspirations of the Navajo Nation, we need to think boldly. So through this design process, this strategic design process, what we're trying to do is to say, what do we need to do to be bold, to use the word earlier? What do we need to do to try to meet that new future? And the old ideas got us to where we are. They're not bad. They're good ideas. Our previous, founders, they created the foundation. Well, now it's our time to build walls higher. It's our time to actually be able to build something better and bigger. And as we've seen in the past, these type of answers and solutions change over time. But if you get more voices into a conversation, if you get more points of view into a conversation, you're then expanding the perspectives. And that's what we really want to do with the college right now. We want to expand our perspectives. We want to look at things in a new way. If you put a bottle in the middle of a room and everybody is looking at it from a different perspective, they're all seeing something different, but it's still that same bottle. That's what we're trying to do right now. We're trying to say, we're looking at the college, but we're all seeing it from a different perspective. How do we try to move forward, create the college we want? Part of those strategic themes allow us to do that, and we look at the future, is that Diné College is just not about degrees. It's also about access to our knowledge. So looking at things beyond just a degree, I think is really important. A couple things that we look at is, one, we have to stigmatize this idea of mental health and having a sound spiritual foundation. I think one of the things that we look at is that we kind of focus, like you said, it's only if you're in the proximity of the people that are around you, but how do you deal with people you don't see? I think that we have to look at it when we talk about holistic integration. A big part of that is to say, how do we remain true to the founding of our college? This college was founded on very unique principles, the Navajo philosophy, and it's infused, but we have to remain true to that because now we're becoming much more of a modern society. But if we lose that foundation, then we might as well close our doors. Without that foundation of integrating Navajo throughout everything, not just our curriculum, but also in the way we do business and student affairs, without that, we might as well be just another college living in the city. When I first applied for this job and I was going around to the different community events where I had questions asked of me by the community, by students, how can you make them be nicer to us? And that has stuck with me. It's about being open and welcoming. Those types of things make a difference. It's not just because the college is a tribal college, but also how are you treated when you walk onto a campus? Does it look welcoming? That's what we're talking about when we talk about the environment and the culture, and that is that people treat each other with respect. What we have to do is begin to communicate with integrity, become student-centered, not staff-centered, the needs of the students as they see it. This is a process where we hope to hear more from students, all students. I do hear students who are non-Navajo speakers who then feel like they're made fun of, or they're shunned if they're in a classroom and they say something, they're laughed at. That's what we mean by the culture, changing that culture so that people are curious, people are taking chances, people feel safe. A safe environment is not just physical safety, but it's also emotional safety, educational safety, spiritual safety. All of those contribute to the environment. I think, one of the things we have to look at when we begin to think about facilities and new facilities is it has to be driven by the programs. So part of this process of strategic design is listening to people, developing what our new ideas will be, and then making sure that our facilities match our curriculum. And so that's something that we're looking at. We have a big emphasis right now in the STEM areas. It's looking at other ways to grow. So one of the things that's really new when we talk about the Navajo Nation economy is, again, I talked earlier about we used to be a coal economy. That's now changed. We used to be an agriculture economy. That changed. So what is our new economy? It's going to be built on a lot of different things. It won't just be a singular item. But one of the one of those things that I think is really important is the idea of an emerging economy, a new market. So looking at things like that. So what does that mean in terms of facilities? It means tomorrow's facilities may not just be a simple classroom. They have to meet whatever needs we have. Just imagine what $100 million would have done to improve the facilities we have right now. But then we're also looking at trying to create these new programs, but having the facilities to match them. So we had an initiative when I came on board. We're in the process of developing the next phase 2 of our capital campaign. We have in place, and what I tell people is that, when you say that, a lot of people think, oh, geez, that's never going to happen. But then I think, well, 5 years ago when I said we're going to have $40 million raised in 4 years, well, I said at that time 6 years, we got it done in 4 years. It never was going to happen. So we're going to make it happen, and we're going to make this college. It already is the best tribal college in the country, but we're going to go after the reputation of other colleges soon too.